Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. It's time for the brand new season in Destiny 2 where we delve deep into the methane oceans of Titan and learn more about a new ally and a returning friend. Today we dive into the new season for a new guide for the new title, Aquanaut. So let's get right into how you can complete this seal. Starting off, we've got the first challenge, which is weekly wet work. This is to complete each week of the seasonal quest line Into the Depths, which will also reward an exotic sparrow at the end of the season called To Be Remembered. Basically, each weekly quest line will revolve around the same thing. Go to the sonar station in the helm, talk to whoever you have to talk to, go complete a salvage mission, then complete a deep dive, and then return back to the sonar station, and you'll have that weekly challenge complete. In total, there are 6 weeks worth of this questline in order to complete this triumph, which means after 6 weeks you will also get the sparrow. The next triumph is Challenges Accepted. Unlock all seasonal bonuses earned by completing seasonal challenges. So, if you go on your Quest tab, you'll see your Season of the Deep seasonal challenges. Click there, and then there's a second tab for seasonal bonuses. You need to complete every single one of these seasonal bonuses, all 10 of them, in order to complete said triumph. Now here's how you do those, because they're not that bad. The first one is to complete the first week of Into the Depths, which is available right now. The next triumph is to obtain a full set of Season of the Deep armor. This is basically obtained just from playing the season, unlocking and focusing deep engrams, and also just playing salvage and deep dive and whatever. The next one is to obtain any 6 of the Season of the Deep or reprised Reckoning weapons. So, some of the weapons that you'll see that are Season of the Deep weapons are these, like Different Times, Until Its Return, Rapacious Appetite, and then there's other weapons, specifically the Reckoning weapons, such as the Just In Case Sword. So there's a lot of different weapons that you can get, but you only need 6 of them in particular to complete this specific seasonal bonus. Up next is Synchronized Swimming. This is to reach rank 7 with the sonar station. Just play a lot of salvage, a lot of deep dive, and eventually you'll rank up just enough. And in order to get the next one, you have to rank up even further to rank 13. The next one is to catch fish while at a fish pond at its maximum catch bonus. You'll know you're at your maximum catch bonus when all of the fish in the middle of the pond are jumping around in the water. The only fishing spots that you can go to, as given to you on your quest line that you get from Hawthorne, there's a fishing spot at the outskirts in the EDZ, there's one at the Cistern on Nessus, and there's also one at Miasma and the Seventh and Throne World. Those are the only 3 places that you can fish at the current moment. Who knows if they're going to add more? Kind of hope that they do, because that would be pretty cool. But that's where you have to do it for now. Up next is Forgotten Treasures. As a fire team, you complete 3 jobs within a single salvage activity. This one I got done on my very first salvage mission, so it's possible that most of you have already done that as well. It basically just means play salvage, get as much done as you can before the time runs out, and you're all set. The next one is Deep Sight Salvaging. This is basically to defeat 2 of the unique bosses in the salvage activities. There is one this week, and then there's one next week. The same thing goes for this next one, Deep Sea Locksmith. It's to defeat all 3 of the unique bosses in the deep dive activities. This week we have a servitor, next week we have another one, and then the week after that is another. Last but not least, the last seasonal bonus challenge is to successfully complete an encounter at the Abyss Depth in a deep dive activity. So, as most of you are aware, this current week is what is considered Twilight Week. So we are only able to go at about 5,000 meters down in the deep dive activity. Next week we're going to have even further, and the next week after that we're going to go as far as we can, which is Abyss. But here's the thing. It's most likely that this is something you have to trigger during the match in order to be able to go down that far. But nonetheless, Abyss is not available yet, but it will be soon, and it's just going down as deep as you possibly can in the deep dive activity. So now that we're done with the seasonal bonuses, let's get back to the seal and talk about the rest of the stuff. The next one is Echo Relocation. This is to reset your vendor rank with the sonar station, thus giving you a brand new, really cool looking emblem, probably some other rewards that I don't remember exactly what they are without looking at it. The next one is a very easy one. It's Reprised Reckoning. This is to defeat targets with Season of the Deep weapons. The weapons in question are these Taken looking weapons, such as Rapacious Appetite, Until Its Return, Different Times, and I haven't tested it out yet, but I'll have it flashing on screen here if the Reckoning weapons do in fact work, such as the Just In Case or any other weapons that have like this rustic look to them with the Season of the Deep logo on them. Now, the reason I say that this specific triumph is easy, you can literally kill any enemy anywhere in the entirety of the solar system. So basically, you can go to EDZ, you can go to Cosmodrome, as long as you're using a Season of the Deep weapon and defeating targets with it, you get progress. Guardians, however, do grant additional progress if for some reason you want to torture yourself in Crucible. Up next is Big Fish. This one is to defeat the salvage bosses Ashradat, the Celebrant of Xivu Arath, which is available this week, and Yorgotha, Scourge of the Deep, which is available next week. The next triumph is Down the Drain. This is to defeat all 3 of the unique bosses for deep dive activities. This week we have the J4WS Wrathborn Servitor. Next week we have Kudazad, Bound to Xivu Arath, and the week after that, Kelgarath, Taken from Bones. Now this next triumph shows up in-game as a secret triumph, but I'm here to tell you what this one actually is. This is called Pressurized Deep. This is to complete a deep dive with pressure trials active on each encounter. So when you're completing a deep dive, there are multiple different encounters for this specific deep dive activity. Now you have to complete a pressure trial, which is something that you will have to activate before the encounter begins. Once you activate said pressure trial, you have to complete it, most likely within a specific time limit. At the current moment, I don't really know what pressure trials are, but like I said, it's most likely something that's like a later week modifier that you can activate yourself. Yes, it is the player most likely that has to activate the pressure trial according to another triumph outside of the seal, stating something about completing encounters after triggering said pressure trials. So yes, the player will have to actually do something with the pressure trial in order to start it. The next triumph is Quantity over Quality. This is to catch fish at any fish pond. Like I said at the beginning of this video when I was talking about the seasonal bonuses, there's only 3 fishing ponds that you can currently go to. They are scattered throughout each location in said areas, but EDZ Outskirts, Miasma Sabbath and Throne World, and Nessa's Cistern are the only places that currently have fishing spots. Now, as you can see on my screen here, 27 bait counted towards 17%, and then I did another 9, which is now at 23%, so it's most likely around, I want to say 150 to 160 total fish that you need to catch to complete this triumph. So it is a lengthy one, but fishing is kind of fun and honestly a really good time waster, so I don't mind that. The next one is Ambitious Angler. This is to catch an exotic fish at any fishing pond. This one is full luck. You'll do a lot better if you have the maximum fishing bonus, which like I said is just the fish jumping in and out of the water, but really it's just, you just gotta hope. It's all RNG. Now, we have one more secret triumph that is unfortunately not available to see. This is completely unknown, but I will work on this one at a later date and update this guide in a separate video. If I had to guess what this specific triumph is, I think it's something outside of the dungeon. Yes, we do have a new dungeon coming, but there is a completely separate seal that's going to be coming out with that dungeon, so there's really no point for them to include something within the dungeon in this current seal. So I think we can just scrap the idea that the dungeon is a part of this out. I don't think this has to do with completing the salvage activity on Legend, because the Legend salvage triumphs are available to see, and so is the Pressurized Deep one that is the other secret triumph on here. So if we can't see this one, it's nothing that's already in the game. So it's not salvage on Legend, and we can definitely take that out of the triumph's possibilities. Honestly, I feel like this specific triumph is something that's going to happen at a later time within this season, probably around week 6, once we get through the weekly quest line. At the current moment, there's nothing suggesting that it would relate to Legend. There's nothing suggesting that it would relate to the hidden plants and flora. Chances are it's some really cool activity or really big spoiler activity that we're going to have to do at the end of the season. So this is something that I'll just update when the time comes. But that is all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I am going to be making a separate video, like I said, on that last triumph when it releases, but I'm also going to be making a separate video on all the locations for the unique plants and flora that you can find at each level of the deep dive activity. There is a plant and flora that you can find this week on the Twilight Zone, and next week during the midnight depth, and after that at the abyss depth. So there's going to be 6 of those in total relating to a Sea Chain scuba shell, exotic shell that you'll be able to get. But like I said, I'll just update you in the next video. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to use my supporter creator code, here it is on screen. And if you have any questions relating to this seal guide that I didn't quite explain in the way you wanted, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. And maybe we can just theorize on what this last triumph will be. So if you want to subscribe for more content relating to seal guides in Destiny, I will update as many seal guides as I can that I can personally do. I'm thinking about possibly doing the new one for the new dungeon, but we'll end up seeing how that goes. So that's all for me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone.